All right, so for the last assistance videos, I'm doing V and W. I think they're a good sampling of some of the harder things you might see on this quiz. So on V, we want to think what two things are happening to the Y that are making it not alone. So I noticed that I have -5 and division by 3. But this is an example where the entire left side of the equation is a fraction. It's a big fraction that has an operation embedded in it. So when we go through and we add 5 and multiply by 3, I'm actually going to want to clear that denominator first. Okay, that is something you have to look out for. Sort of a pro tip is if you try to add 5 to both sides and it's not making things simpler, then try to clear that denominator and it will probably fix the problem. So that leaves me with y minus 7 equals, and then 7 times 3 is 21. Now we have a one-step equation. I have already done the times 3, so now I need to add 5 to both sides. So y equals 26, and that's it. Again, if you want to verify that, you can put it back into the original question. So 26 minus 5 gives me 21, divided by 3 gives me 7. So that is what we were looking for. The second equation is overwhelming, perhaps because of the distribution. A lot of people kind of freak out about that. This distribution is actually, doesn't have any negatives or anything too wild. So 5 times 1 gives me 5. 5 times n gives me 5n, and that equals 5. We got a lot of 5s going on. Keep in mind, if you ever see distribution in an equation, or distribution ever, okay, in this class at least, you're going to want to just go ahead and distribute the number into the parentheses, okay? That is usually going to be the right direction, because once we distribute this, it is a two-step equation that we need to solve. I can subtract 5 from both sides because that is one thing that is keeping the n, trapped, I would say. And then 5 minus 5 gives me 0. Okay, lots of people get nervous when they see a 0 because we forget how 0 works in operations. But all you got to do is think about it. Usually I use cookies as an analogy. You will see in a second how that helps. N needs to be isolated, and we can do that by dividing by 5. Right now it's being multiplied by 5, so n equals, here's where we get worried. We're like 0 over 5, is that 1? Is that 5? Is that 0? Okay, think about it in cookies. You have 0 of 5 cookies. How many cookies do you have? 0, and that's your final answer. So if you still have questions, go through, work with the answer key that I have that has all of the work. Try to talk to somebody and see if you guys can figure out what is going on. And then I will follow up with you guys Friday before we take the quiz. See you then.